All right, here we are in episode 5 of PetMed already. So we are finally to the episode where we can create pets. Now, I'm going to say create in kind of a limited capacity right now. We are still kind of at the rudimentary CRUD operation stage of everything, but this is going to be a short one as a result of that. The next video, we'll need to make some services, one of which is going to be dealing with uploading to AWS, and that way we can actually save the pet's photo. Because this is, a pet medication app. It's going to be like an EMR. We want to be able to upload cute pet pictures. So that's going to be in the next episode, more than likely. Additionally, I kind of need to get to a point where I can start, manually testing some things out. So I need to be able to actually register for an account. And with how the account verification process goes, I need to be able to send emails. And so there's going to be a lot of mailgun work, or I might use like SendGrid or MailChimp. I'm still not decided yet. And then I also have just a lot of general behind the scenes auth work in addition to that. So that's kind of like what we've got looking ahead for 6 and potentially 7, or maybe even 6, 7, 8. We'll kind of see how those play out. But for now, let's go ahead and jump right into the pet creation stage. By the way, from the bottom of my heart, I really, really appreciate everybody who's been watching this so far. I always, enjoy having some views on my videos. It does, the heart some good. So I make some crummy videos sometimes that just flop, but having some people actually sit down and watch everything, it's nice. So we're just setting up the express router here for pets, and we'll go ahead and just create that, get it templated out, and get it linked up in our API router. So just kind of getting some of our rudimentary setup knocked out. All right. Now we need to start defining our queries to say, how do we insert a pet? So let's go look at that. We'll make a new query file, pets.ts, and then we'll import our query function. And we'll need to import the new pet type and also the pet type. And I need to jump into the new pet type just to see what we've got. So we've got name, species, birth date, image URL, weight, household ID. Cool. So for now, just kind of like with the households and user households workflow, a lot of this is just going to be kind of the initial setup. I'm still not entirely sure how the home page is going to be comprised. So we will have some mega queries doing 9 joins, consolidating everything together to get a user's homepage. Not sure where exactly that's going to lie, but I'm kind of just figuring things out bit by bit. So I did start this app by actually planning things out, or at least the database structure. And from there, kind of like the usual, everything's gone out the window as I'm like, all right, well, let's just treat it as a stream of consciousness, like a free form coding. So I don't know. So insert into pets. Got name, species, birth date, image URL, weight, household ID. Let me go ahead and destructure everything else. Or mostly everything. Ah, crud, I forgot to add commas. There we go. There we go. So just doing some quick and dirty copy paste from the interface to extract everything out. And because I've got it all copy pasted in this format, I can also dump that in the column names, and then values, going to have quite a few placeholders here. I can also just go ahead and dump the array of values in that exact same order, which makes it nice. Now all that's left is making my placeholders. which is going to be 6 of them. So not too bad, especially with our buddy Control-C, Control-V. Let me just double check. Name, species, birth date, image URL, weight, household ID, 6. All right. And we are using Postgres here, so I do need to specify that this query should return some data, or at least the ID, since we're having this application, since I'm having the database generate a UUID for everything. So we've got that now. And then time to go ahead and import our queries into our query index. So sorry, I had to sing the alphabet song to myself a little quietly there to make sure I was getting everything organized in a nice fashion by alphabetizing it properly. Yes, yes. Did I, as a grown man, have to just sing the alphabet song live in a video? Yes, I did. And I really need to, in addition to the services, I really need to get into making a better consolidated validator library here, or I might use something like Zod and integrate that. Just because there's a lot of creation going on, and there's a lot of like manual validation I have to do myself. Which, you know, the validation library that I've defined has made that a little easier, but still, like I'd rather not have to do this for like every single post or put request. So I might do some research into that and see what might be kind of my best usage. So all right, so we'll just kind of do a quick and simple returned message of internal server error could not create pet. I talked about this in some previous videos too, but I do need to make like a global error handler for my API that, I don't know, kind of streamlines this a little bit too, since it's very formulaic anyway. So why not just create one global error handler that I can just say next error and have it just give a generic internal server error occurred message. So we'll see. But I need to go ahead and destructure out stuff from the rec body. So what exactly is in there? Well, whatever's in there should be of the type new pet. So that'll help me autocomplete destructuring everything out. So name, birth date, not age, since that's going to be like dynamically calculated client side, weight, species. I could look at the type, but I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Name, birthday, weight, species, household ID. That's pretty big. Image URL. Cool. 6 for 6. And here, yet again, I kind of wish I had like a validator function that I could provide the new pet construct to. I really think something like Zod probably is my best case here, but at the very least, let me go ahead and validate that all the required bits are here. And the message here will be saying message missing the following properties. And we could do some like filtering here on the required properties, put them in an array and see like which ones are missing. So const missing is equal to an array of all of these. filtered where each property type of property equals undefined. So at the very least, this is giving us, well, they could be defined, but I could send like an empty string or like 0 as the weight. So let me just do a truthiness check. So we'll do that. Name, birth date, weight, species, household ID. So yeah, if I get empty strings for these 4 or like 0 for the weight, then this truthiness check is going to return just the bad bits of data. And what I'm going to do is join all of those together into a giant string, and that way I can just interpolate that in here. So at least I can like bounce some context to my users as to what's missing. All right. And then we will await db get that auto import dot pets dot create, passing in an object with all of these properties contained. And yeah, I mean, we have our pet ID, we have it created now, so that's kind of nice. So res.status 201.json message successfully created pet. And the ID we will bounce back will be results.id. Which in the last episode, you know, I did say insert ID because I was trying to make it look as MySQL-like as possible, but that's kind of silly. So I just modified it to be ID by itself. And that gives us the ability to create a pet. So like I said, this is going to be a very short episode. We now have the ability to create a pet. The next steps really would be here. After successfully creating the pet and getting the pet ID back, we would want to integrate our Amazon service, whatever we define. So we'll upload the image to S3. We might have a separate route for that to where we just send the image itself. We'll see. Router.post. /API/pet/image/upload. We'll go with that. And here we'll go ahead and just do a general log. And then we'll do a 500 here saying could not process image. We'll just kind of leave it generic for the time being. But we'll probably want to import something like Multer here, which allows us to import, Multer allows us to parse multi-part form data. And it's basically just an additional like body parser for Express. So we can parse form data, aka like an image upload from React or even just vanilla HTML and JavaScript, and parse that in the rec body. So Multer will allow us to receive that and inject the image into the rec.body, from where we can, you know, take it, send it to AWS, etc. So I might actually have that as kind of a two-stage thing, which is typically how I've done things in the past as well. So like you have an image modal, or like not a modal, you have just like a file upload input, and then like as you're typing out stuff on the form, you upload the image. It goes ahead and immediately executes this and bounces that URL back. And that way, like client side, you can also say like, hey, we got an image URL back. So that way you can have like the image actually display in the input form as the user's typing. And then what you would do is you would send the image URL alongside the actual like pet creation process. So that would actually not happen here, but I think I'll set it up to go here. So that's where we're going to leave off for pets. So like I said, short episode, not a whole lot to cover in here since we're just kind of doing the, just create operations for both the query and the route. But the next steps, are coming. We're getting there bit by bit. We need to go ahead and deal with our, email authentication workflow. We need to get S3 integrated. And I need to figure out what I'm doing for data validation just because it's going to be a pain doing all of that by hand because there are a lot of tables and therefore there will be a lot of routes on this application. So we'll see where it goes. But yet again, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you've been enjoying this thus far. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do so. And that way you'll get notified when new PetMed videos come out. And yeah, any relevant materials I'll have linked below in the description. But until then, I'll see y'all in episode 6.